Well, hello there and welcome back to my channel. In today's tutorial we'll be making a table runner, but I thought we can do a little bit of sew and chat today. It's very cold today. I'm not sure what the temperature is. Let's see if my phone or my computer can actually tell me. It is freezing today. Normally I will have the back door open so that Jackson can go in and out as he pleases. He never does. That dog sticks by me irregardless of what. If I go outside, that's the only time he will walk out there. And as soon as I come back in, he is right behind me. Is literally having a tail. I tell you, literally. I'm going to insert a clip actually of what he did to me. I cannot trust it. Sometimes I allow him, it's 8 degrees right now. Sometimes I allow him to just like roam the house if I know he's already been to the bathroom and stuff like that, because I don't want to restrict him to just being in the sewing room or in the second lounge there with me. So sometimes I let him run free because he likes to chase the birds, because you know the windows go from sort of ceiling to floor, so he can look out quite easily. And so he will run, he will see the this dog's so crazy. He's too much of a happy puppy dog, seriously. He will see them through the window here, because obviously the lights on me, so I'm watching through the window. And then he will go to the next window in the second lounge there, and he will run there and he back at them. And then when they go higher up, he'd skate out of this room, skate out of the other room, run all the way to the front, and he'd be literally barking crazy at them. You know, so sometimes I just like to leave him to let's get on with it, let him have his own fun, because it tires him out. This is what Jackson did with the toilet roll. Why did you do this? Don't you bark at me. Oi, why did you do this? Why? Can you tell me why? Jackson, did you do this? Don't give me that face. Don't give me no twist innocent face either. No, you did this, not me. Oi, Jackson, why did you do this? You little snake, give it to me now. Thank you. You're gonna clean this up. Look at your mess. Oi, why did you make this mess? I want an answer. Very naughty. Very, very naughty, young man. You think it's okay? What the? You continue, you will go on, right, you're going on your lead right now. But he never goes outside. But today I decided to shut the door because, as I said, it's 8 degrees outside. It's really cold. I have a t-shirt on here, but because sometimes the room gets warm because I have a little heating on. I don't like to put heating on during the day because I just feel like I'm wasting energy, because it's just me in the house and I'm not using the whole house. I'm just like in the end portion. So I just heat this little portion for me and the dog, really. But he has fur. So he don't need it. But it's a bit chilly outside today, and it's not very bright. It's no sun. Let me show it to you. Actually, it's quite overcast. It reminds me of England. It's grey. That's what it looks like outside. So I'm picking my nail. So that's what it looks like outside. But you know, either way, it's fine. I don't know what he's rattling under the table. Probably his bone, because he loves playing with his bones. But today, let me show you outside before I start. So there it is. So you see how gloomy it is out there? Yeah, just not very bright at all. Just really sad. Very much winter. So if you don't know, this is winter here in Australia. And I know you Americans, you're having your summer. you know, or you spring into summer, but I think it's almost summer there. Is it almost summer? Not necessarily. I know you're still into spring, I think, because you run the same time zone as England, isn't it? But even though you warm up more quickly than English do. But today we're going to be making a table runner. So as I said, it's going to be a bit of a chat and sew, something a bit different. I haven't done one of those in a long time. It's nice to do that because then I can talk to you and not so much focus on doing the sewing. But I still am. Okay, don't get it twisted. All right, so I've already cut some half square triangles, which I'm going to take you into and then sew them together in like this. That's how I've sewed it together. So using the shorter side, okay, and then I'm going to add another piece of fabric, another half square triangles onto it to make it into the block. And then just move the block around till I find a variation or a layout that I am pleased with. No planning, just sewing. I am measuring, obviously, so that I can write a pattern with it and yeah, upload it to you guys. So that's what we're doing today. So it's Monday here at 12:07. So this is going to be one of my videos for the week because I try to post 3 videos per week. So obviously is the quilt along. This particular, I usually do a quilt or a table runner and something else in between, whatever comes up, you know. So yeah, that's it really. But I hope you guys are really well and you're doing well and having a really good day. Let me know down below, how do you spend your day normally? You know how I spend my day. Sewing, quilting, that's literally it. Oh my god, guys, I've got to tell you, my sewing machine, not the brother, the Quilter's Choice, sorry to shake the camera because on the table, it's not working. Well, it's working, it's coming on, etc. I think it needs a service because since I bought it, which is probably about 2 years now, as everything is 2 years, and because obviously, you know, we've only been here 2 years and a bit now, so it's roughly about 2 years because I didn't buy the sewing machine or the Quilter's Choice as soon as we arrived, so it's probably just turned 2 years. So I think it needs a service. So what I was quilting on it, and all of a sudden the balance wheel, it stopped moving. So then obviously the needle wouldn't go up and down, isn't it? So, and I heard the sound before the needle stopped. So obviously the power was still generated, but then when I heard the sound, it was still going and then it stopped. Excuse me, and then it stopped. So I automatically thought probably some thread got caught because that tends to happen to me a lot. I always tend to somehow wrap the thread in the wheel and then I have to stop, unravel it. But it wasn't that because I was a bit, you know, I was like, that's odd. Why would it stop like that? Because there was no thread around it. So anyway, so now I have to search where to find a someone to service the sewing machine, which is I usually service them, which is not a problem for me. But not being in the UK and not using the regular person I used, this is always so going to be a new thing to find someone to service the sewing machine. And Australia is big, so everything is not close by. And I know some of you may think, oh, it's not far, but when you come from the UK and everything is kind of like on your doorstep, so to speak, it's different to having to drive, you know, having to drive at least, what, 8 miles, 10 miles to get to somewhere, whereas before it will probably be half a mile. You know, so that's the difference. So for me it is a bit of a distance, but it's not working. It's come on, everything's fine in that area, but if I press down on the foot presser, the power lead I should say, it's responding, going making that noise, which tells me probably the belt, because the wheel has a belt that goes around it that allows it to allow the mechanism and the machine to turn. So I think the belt is either broken or slipped out. I have done a little bit of research as to finding somebody, but I think the first sort of person I saw had good reviews, was about 10 or 12 miles away, which is not a huge deal. So, and I don't think they're open on weekends, and I think it's somebody's home as well, again, which is not a huge deal. The reviews were current. When I say current, recent. So that's the issue I'm having there. So I've only got my well, tell a lie, I don't only got, I've got what, 2 other sewing machines in the cupboard that I can use, but my Innovis, my brother, is what I use for piecing. So I can still piece, I can still quilt on my brother. It's not a big deal. I probably will not put it through quilting a whole quilt at the moment, because I always like to interchange them, and I do only use the Quilter's Choice for quilting. And that's one of the things about quilting, it can really tire out your machines. Now the brother is more expensive because I paid pounds for it, and obviously I paid Australian dollars for the Quilter's Choice. So the brother is more expensive, because I think I paid, I think it was about 3,500 pounds for the brother, and I paid 1,200 Australian dollars for the Quilter's Choice. So it's significantly more high. So I do probably don't try not to, you know, kill the brother's choice a little bit less than, because I'm assuming it will probably cost more to repair or have to buy a new one. But so far, touch wood, everything's okay with that. But I don't think the Quilter's Choice is a big deal. I'm not too entirely worried about it. As I said, based on the reviews, he seems like, I'm assuming it's a him. Most of the repairmen are men when it comes to the sewing machine, you know. So anyway, so once I get an update on that, I will share with you guys. But I still have machines that I can use, so it's not like a big deal. One day though, I would love to own a long arm. It's my dream to own a long arm. So guys, help me to retrieve that goal, because they do cost a bit of a penny, don't they? They do cost a bit of a penny. So yeah, so I have to save towards that, because that's not something I can just dip out and buy. So yeah, help me to grow my channel, so that way, you know, YouTube can pay me a little bit more, so I can put towards that, which will be great. But anyway, let's get on with this. I've done a little bit of talking now, 11 minutes. Somebody's going to say, she's been talking 11 minutes now. Why do I imitate somebody like that? I don't know what you guys' voices sound like. It's so funny. Anyway, so this is what I've said I've done. So taken my half square triangles and sew them on the shorter side. All right, so I'm going to take you to another step now. So let's go and do that, and then we'll come back and do some more chatting. All right, using yardage, cut all of your half square triangles, and then once you've done that, lay them out as shown below, using the shorter side to actually sew all the half square triangles together. All right, so I'm going to take in some squares, and I'm going to cut those squares into half. This block, or this table runner, uses a lot of half square triangles and quarter square triangles, basically. All right, so I've done that. I'm going to be using an alternating color, or a different color I should say, and do the same thing. So just want to see what this can result in. I think it's going to be all right, to be honest. Notice guys, I am never too worried about how something is going to turn out, because I always feel with blocks you can interchange them and get the result that you actually want. And if something is short or missing, what I mean by that is that if you think that your outcome is not correct, then you can always fix it. I think the more you make stuff, the more experience you gain and the more confidence you build when it comes to quilting. So what I'm going to do now is take this one here, and all I'm simply going to do is to use my clearly slotted, and I'm going to trim it down, because I want it to be a particular size. And once I've done that, then I'm going to join it again. So when you're using it clearly slotted, make sure the dark line in the middle lines up to the center point on your quarter square triangle there. Do that, line up and use and cut. Would you believe I spent half an hour looking for this? I thought the dog had moved it because he likes to interfere with my stuff, even though I keep telling him don't touch it. And then we're going to sew it together like so. All right. So yeah, even though I've said to him 1,000 times, get out. That's what I say, get out. Because he comes in, he loves to go into the bin. And it's not like there's rubbish in there. I could just heard him run upstairs. Oh, I'm wrong. You're right here. Where did you come from? You heard me talking about you. Yeah. He loves to go into the bin. And it's not like there's rubbish in there. Do you know what's in there? Fabric. Just strips of fabric or pieces of fabric or very small cut-offs. He loves to go in there, get it, and run around, start there and chewing it. And you'll think he's chewing a gum in the way he stands there and chew the damn thing. So then now I have to get it off of him, and he thinks it's a game. So the amount of times I have to say, when I get really frustrated, I'll be like, get out. Just get out. That's why I said, get out. Oh my gosh, but this dog's too funny. Too funny. I think he's beginning to settle down now. Before, he was a little bit more clingy than he is. He's looking at me, he knows I'm talking about it. He's not as clingy. He's still kind of jumping up, you know. He's still kind of jumping up, especially when Carl comes home. But he is much better. He's much better. I think I am a little bit more strict with him than Carl is, which can slightly annoy me sometimes, because obviously I am home with him and I'm using the same fabric just to trim it down rather than, you know, using the clearly slotted all the time. Sometimes for me it's just easier to do that. I don't have to measure. It's just line up and cut. Yeah, so that slightly annoys me sometimes, that, you know, Carl is not as firm. I guess it's just me. That's just my way. Jackson. Yeah. What are you barking at now? There is literally no one there. Oh, that is not a bird. That's just paper or something blowing. When you do this part, guys, make sure you put the white, if you're using white to make this, against the darker color, because it does show up. I don't mind so much in a quilt, especially if I'm using a background of a quilt that's not a background, a backing that's a little bit dark. But if I know it's going to be a light, then I tend to make sure it's done properly. What is it? Why are you barking and making noise? I don't know. I don't know what growling means. You need to stop making unnecessary noises. Your voice is quite loud and annoying. Yes. It's not cute. It's annoying. You can growl as much as you want. Still telling you the truth. Do you hear me screaming? No. Don't give me that cute face. What do you want? You see? This is when we fall out, because you think you have a right to growl at me. What do you want? No, I'm not picking you up. No, no cuddles right now. Alright guys, so what we need to do now is to take one of these, as I said, and we are going to sew them together. There's going to be different colors, so it's not just this two. You're going to have another set that's going to be similar to this but different way about, and the pattern will tell you. So, but it's the same thing, basically. That's why I'm not going ahead to show it to you. So yeah, so that's what you're going to do. Long stitch along there, front sides together. Alright, so this is the layout. It looks very much like the twisted pattern, but obviously you can see it's not. This one is interwoven. So if you look, you can carefully see the blue goes under and over. Same with the red. Whereas the twisted pattern had a pole in the middle. This one does not. Alright, so you can see sort of interweaving with each other. Alright, so there's another way to lay this out, which I will twist it around, and so you can see the pattern in a different light, and then you can decide which layout is better for you. Alright, so this now is another pattern. So it's very similar yet again to the twisted, but this one is twisted without the pole, but it shows the colors layout next to each other on the slant, which I love as well. So it's going to be an either or. I'm not sure which one to choose. Tell me which one would you have chosen had you been me, or what would you choose if you decide to make this pattern. I do love it. It's beautiful. Love the colors. They play off really nicely together. The colors are lovely and strong, so that it shows off the pattern, as well as notice the placement that I've used white to really highlight it. Okay. Alright guys, so this is now completed. This table runner measures 17 by 43. Absolutely beautiful, isn't it? I love the colors. They play off really nicely on each other. You can see the woven pattern where it's interlocking underneath each of the fabric. So as you can see, the floral blue goes there and there and there. It just really wraps it around or interlocks it really nicely. It's very similar to the twisted pattern, whereby the twisted pattern has a lot more sort of cutting, I would say, definitely. But this one is beautiful. Very, 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 very lovely. I'm going to go in closely. I did a meandering stitch or stipple stitch all over. I like doing that for these sort of things. I just feel like it really shows it up really nicely. You know, I just love it. Love the fact that it's just so simple, only made from half square triangles. The only thing here is color placement. That's important, as well as aligning it in the right order in order to give you that wraparound pattern. But it looks absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. On the back, I just did something really simple, nothing, you know, just a normal plain fabric at the back. Again, if you wanted to use this, you can also, but it's just a whole print. But the front is where the action's at. Beautiful. Love it. Colors, the colors is what gets me really nice. And this is why I talk about using the right colors for your projects. It's important. Okay, and if you notice as well, you've got a medium-sized print and a small print. It's the whole thing is print except the background color, but it plays off nicely. Even the binding, I did a 2-inch binding for this one. And I love the way it comes up really narrow there. I must admit, I am not usually a favor of using a 2-inch binding when I make my binding, but it's usually 2.5 I use, but this one looks nice. Just loved it. Really quick project. I made this probably half a day, I would say. If I were to quilt it in the same day, I would say it's a day project. Definitely a day project. You can get this done in a day without fail. Fully starting to completion. I'd probably say if you were to start this probably around 9 o'clock, you can finish this project around 5 o'clock in the evening, depending if you don't have any interruptions like I did during mine. All right, but beautiful project. Let's add some table decoration to it and see what it looks like. All right, so I've placed a vase on it that I usually showcase with all of the table runners. This looks really nice, guys, I must admit. I love making these sort of table runners. It just really emphasizes the look of the table quilt, and it just really shows it off Beautiful, beautiful project. I hope you will consider making this. You can even make it longer as well if you've got a bigger table. But overall, very, very, very nice. Absolutely gorgeous. And you can do this, as I said, in a day, no issues at all. A very quick project that will be very rewarding. And again, made from half square triangles. Who knew? Well, what I would say is that consider making this. The pattern is the link down below if you would consider making that. And by the way, if you're down there, just like and subscribe for more. Leave a comment down below letting me know that you watched this video from beginning to end. I'd love to know how many people actually watch my videos from start to finish. So thank you guys. Welcome again. If you enjoyed this tutorial, do let me know what you think about it. I always look forward to your feedback and I always do my best to answer everyone. So bye for now. Happy quilting and I'll see you in the next one. All right, guys, I thought I'd insert for you a comparison of the woven and the twisted. Let me know down below which one is your favorite. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I look forward to hearing from you. Also, remember, if you watch this video to the end, just leave a heart to let me know that you did. Once again, bye for now and happy quilting.
My appetite, don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist.